Good morning, grade 11 students. This morning, we are going to see a simple problem from trigonometry ratio. And here is an example that I'm going to use to explain all I've actually introduced from the first class we had. Now, in this problem, we are asked that if cos x is equal to 5 over 13, find the following. Now we are asked to find the following, that is find tan x. Number 2 says find cosec x, and number 3 says find sec x, and the other one said find cot x. So we are going to solve this problem finding all this that we've been asked to find. So you're going to write it down because I'm going to clean up the board for you to actually see how I'm going to do that. So let me write it somewhere here because I need to clean this up. So we were asked to find tan x here. I was asked to find cosec x. I was asked to find sec x. Then cot x. So I'm going to clean this side so that I can use it to solve my problem around there. So now, what am I going to do? Now, one thing you have to understand is that you were only given one of the ratios, which is cos x. So for you to solve a problem like this, you need to find all the three ratios for your SOHCAHTOA. That is, for your SOHCAHTOA, you need to find the three ratios. So since you've been given one, you need to find sine and tan. And how are you going to do that? Yeah, you know that the ratios, the SOHCAHTOA ratios are actually problems of our right angle triangle. So what am I going to do? I'm going to draw my right angle triangle. A given right angle triangle. Let me name this A, and this is B and C, for instance. And this is my right angle. So now, from this ratio here, this is adjacent over hypotenuse. That means this ratio is adjacent over hypotenuse. That means from here, my adjacent is 5 and my hypotenuse is what? Is 13. So, but let me know. Let me say I'm looking at this particular angle. Let me say this angle is my x. So that this side is my opposite. So that here is my opposite. Here is my hypotenuse. And here is my what? Adjacent. If here is my x. Do you understand? So I was given that my adjacent is 5. That means this is 5 here. My hypotenuse is 13. That means here is what? 13. So I don't know my opposite. How do I find my opposite? Now, from the onset, I initially stated that anytime you are given a problem that just involves only the sides, do you understand? You are going to actually solve the problem with Pythagoras' theorem. So we were not given any angle. So for me to find the third side, I need to apply my Pythagoras theorem. And what is my Pythagoras theorem saying? My Pythagoras theorem is saying that my hypotenuse squared is equal to my adjacent squared plus my opposite squared. That is my Pythagoras theorem. Do you understand? Adjacent squared plus my opposite my opposite you see, that is my Pythagoras theorem there. I got it. Now, what am I going to do? What is my hypotenuse? 13. That is to say, 13 squared is equal to my adjacent is 5. 5 squared plus my opposite squared. So that this now becomes 169. This now becomes 169 minus 25. 169 minus 25 is equal to my opposite square. So this implies that my opposite square here is going to be equal to 144. Do you understand? 144. So you take the square root of both sides, so that your opposite becomes Becomes 12. That means this opposite here is my 12. So this is my 12. You can see that I use the Pythagoras theorem to get the other side. I can use the SOHCAHTOA method to actually get the other side because I was not given any angle. You understand? So, okay, no problem. So, what are we going to do? So, the next thing we do is this. We need to start looking for what we were told. We're asked to find tan x. We're asked to find what? Tan x. So, I'm going to clean this side here. So, now, finding tan x, to look for tan x, this simply means that my tan x here is equal to what? Opposite over adjacent. That's what the SOCAT words mean. Opposite over what? Adjacent. Where's our opposite? Sorry, this is our opposite here. And we got it as what? 12. Opposite over adjacent. That means tan x is what? 12 over 5. So you are done with this. Do you understand? Tan x is 12 over 5. That is tan x. So now, let us now look at the next one. We were asked to find cosec x. We're asked to find what? Cosec x. Cosec x. Cosec x. Now, since we are asked to find cosec x, what is cosec? Initially, I told you that our cosec is actually, what's up? Our cosec is 1 over sine theta, or 1 over sine x. Cosec, we were told that cosec x means 1 over what? Sine x. That means cosec is the inverse of sine. Do you understand? 1 over what? Sine x. I get it. So that if your sine x is opposite of hypotenuse, that is opposite over what? Or hypotenuse, then your cosec is going to be hypotenuse over opposite. That is to say, our cosec is going to be what? Hypotenuse here over what? Opposite. That is, the cosec is actually reversing what your sine is. Do you understand? So that now, my cosec is hypotenuse over opposite. Where's our hypotenuse? 13. Where's our opposite? 12. That means my cosec is what? 13 all over what? All over 12. Do you understand? So I found this. This is number 1. This is number 2. So we look for number 1, number 3. Are you with me? We look for number 3. So what is number 3? What's number 3 telling us? Now for number 3, we're asked to find sec x. Now again, sec x is actually, sec x is 1 over cosec x. Sec x here simply means 1 over what? 1 over cos x. You understand? Sec x is 1 over cos x. So that if our cos x is adjacent over hypotenuse, then our sec x is going to be hypotenuse over adjacent. That means here, sec x is what? Is hypotenuse here over what? Over adjacent. Hypotenuse over adjacent. So that this, our hypotenuse is going to be 13, our adjacent is going to be what? 5. Do you understand? That means the other one is 13 over 5. This is how the math is done. So the next one we're asked to find is cot x. Cot x. Now, cot x, which is number 4. Which is number 4. So number 4 there, this number 4 is asking us to find cot x. So what is cot x? Cot x there is what? 1 over tan x. Cot x there is 1 over what? 1 over tan x. Now we've already found our tan x to be 12 over 5. That means cot x is just going to be 5 over 12. Or if tan x is opposite over hypotenuse, then that means our what? That means our cot x will be equal to what? Will be equal to adjacent over what? Over opposite. And what is your adjacent? Your adjacent is 5. And what is your opposite? Your opposite is 12. So that means your answer there is what? 5 over 12. Hope you understand. So this is how to solve the problem. With this, I think you understand what I meant by cosec, cotan, cosec x, all of those are inverse of the trig ratio. You understand? Thank you.